Hello, Hamish here from mortgagesonline.co.nz. I'm here today with Rick Mumford.
Hi, Hamish.
And he is from A-Grade Property.
A-Grade Property, correct.
And he's a property manager, and we're going to talk about the healthy homes, the new standards, which are going to be required by July 2021.
That's right, yes.
So let's get stuck into that and see what you actually need to have done by then, right?
Okay, well basically there are 5 elements that come into play, and it is by July 21. And the first one is the heating element, which is the heating in the lounge area. It needs to be up to a certain temperature, and that's normally provided by by a heat pump or a static heater.
And I think it's 18 degrees.
18 degrees is the required temperature, correct, yeah. Okay. And then we move on to the insulation, which is the insulation in the ceiling and in the underfloor. Mm-hmm. And they need to comply with the standard and meet the required regulation thickness.
Right.
And so for a ceiling insulation needs to be a certain thickness, whereas underfloor it needs to be of a certain type. And those are generally the inspected at the time.
And I think if you've had insulation done in the last few years, it's probably up to the condition.
That's right.
Anyway.
Yeah, correct. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Now the next one is ventilation, where you've got a range hood, for example, in a kitchen. Getting the moisture out of the kitchen, and then also you've got an extractor fan in the bathroom, and also that in habitable rooms there is an opening window, or which represents about 5% of the space in the room.
Right. So those, extractor fans, it's good to get the air out anyway.
That's right, yeah.
It's better for your property,
correct,
generally, and your health of your ceiling, paint.
That's right. And then you've got what they call the draft stopping, which is basically older buildings where they've got gaps between the windows and the frames, and there needs to be some means of preventing the draft coming through. So that can be done by very simple methods of polystyrene or for self-adhesive membranes that can be used for that type of thing.
Right, and that's around doors and windows.
Around the doors and windows, that's right, yeah.
Which can be tricky because you need to also, some of that stuff you mentioned, you could actually use a sealant, but at the same time you've got to keep in mind that the window you should have an opening window at least in the bedroom.
Correct, that's right, yes, correct. Yes. It may be a case of placing in a lining up against the frame of the window itself.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be too onerous.
No, it's just got to do the job.
Do the job, that's right, yeah.
And the last
And the fifth one is moisture. So this is about moisture getting into the building from the ground area, mm-hmm. and runoffs from spouting and downpipes and on walkways and around the property, where water can build up, and then it can actually find its way into the building. Mm-hmm. And with the moisture barrier, the moisture barrier can be installed if there is space underneath the property.
Yep.
But if it's a concrete foundation, there isn't much you can really do.
Right. Okay.
So those are the sort of the 5 key elements that make up the healthy homes situation.
And I guess a lot of them really kind of common sense stuff.
Yeah.
And most of them will protect your property anyway.
That's correct. That's right. Yeah. Most of them basically are really quite straightforward.
And the good thing is you actually do a inspection to just check how close you are to these standards already.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
Okay. No, that's good. Well, thanks for coming in, Rick, and
that's my pleasure.
And thank you for watching. Hopefully that's been insightful, and I will leave Rick's details as well somewhere around the clip or the website.
Thank you.
So you can get hold of him if you want that inspection. Thanks.
Thanks very much.